Well, believe it or not, folks, it's not a safety car, despite the accident which has caused the stream to crash, unless it's been a very quick safety car, but I don't think there's actually been one. Let me just check the lap times. No safety car for the 3 or 4 car pile-up, which means we have seen a lot of mandatory stops being done. And so I'm just going to have to now try and figure out the order, because I noticed that Kieran's in the pits doing his second mandatory right now, but Quinn, who I'm pretty sure has just made his second mandatory, is actually ahead of him. So he was facing backwards at one point in this race, but he's now ahead. Okay, K's made a second stop, but I think he made one in the pits. So we're just going to have to try and do the numbers on this one, try and figure it out. But I reckon the net order right now is probably going to be Kyle, Quinn, Kieran.
Yes, because I think I will say who has made the safety car stop, and so we can update you. So Yuri has made 1 safety car stop, Jacko's made 2, Quinn's made 1, Casper's made 1, so is AKK, so is SD Matt, so is Jordan, and so is Ben. Obviously we don't need to worry about Connor because he's retired. Red Matt has gone past Evil Dragon into turn 5, and he's now up into P11. He has still got to make 1 more mandatory stop, same with J-Luke as well. They must have pitted after the safety car restart, it looks like, so at least they've got 1 more stop out the way too.
I'll tell you what, actually, I think Corey may actually have been the big winner, as OKK potentially bringing a safety car out with this. We'll need to keep our eyes on this, which is really difficult to do when I'm trying to work out pit stops as well, lads, so can you please just drive with some sense? Because I'm nearly at the end of the race now. But yeah, Corey did make a second mandatory pit stop. So, I'm going to quickly do all the numbers here while Jess sort of takes you through this, because I've just got all the names up. I'm going to just try and figure this out on the fly, to be honest. Enjoy some action with Kieran while I quickly do this, because we've had to do this all at once, which is very, very difficult to do.
Yes, well, we were trying to go in as well, but luckily there was no safety car as well. Both Kieran and Casper did get past SD Mats, by the way, into turn 1 and 2. So Kieran doing a decent job there. We got a KK in the pits. I believe that will be his mandatory stops done. I think Jacko's done his mandatory stops as well. Casper does get past Kieran now, once again, up to P7. But I'm sure SD Max could fight back here with his medium tyres as well, but surely he would want to be on the soft tyres for the time being, but he's not. It's a three-way fight for P7 on track, but with people still yet to stop, this could be podiums and points on the line as well. This could make a difference for the playoffs as well. Quinn's looking on course to get his first points in the Cup Series this season, and he's not given up, is he, even after that spin earlier as well. And it shows if you make that first stop early, mandatory stop early, you'll be back in this race. As Iceman and Yuri are having a battle there as well. Jordan has got past Evil Dragon up to P11, but I think Iceman's going to get past Yuri here.
Yeah, this should be all good for the lead. Let's see if the move happens, though.
Or Iceman pit. Iceman pits.
He pits. Right, that is a second stop. And so that should be him going to the end. So 1 more safety car puts him right back into place. So we'll see. He's not going to go for soft. He's going to go for medium tyres. And we will see how this one works out as he comes back out. Hopefully, there he goes. Quinn on the back of Casper as well. And we'll see how they are getting on as they head through turn 1. There is Iceman on the exit. Iceman's not going to throw it at the inside. I don't think he's not going to risk anything too drastic. And I do think I've got all the pit stops noted down now. So people still to make a second stop. Yuri, Evil, as we just see Iceman getting past Casper. We've got Yuri, the race leader. We've got Evil. We've got Casper. We've got Jamie, the champion. And we've got Matt. So that's the drivers who still have to make a mandatory second stop.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that, of course, as well. But let's hope they make it now before there could be another safety car. Okay, goes on for his 3rd mandatory stop now, so he's coming in again. At least he's still in this race, though, so he's not retiring just yet, so he can still get points. He has scored some points this season, so we will see. So Yuri is technically fighting no one at the moment, because obviously Corey's your net race leader as it stands.
And what a remarkable win this could be for him. He's got a massive gap, what is it, nearly 8 seconds to Kyle, who's his nearest challenger for the victory. And that's what this is for. This is, as far as I'm aware, 2 stops that have been made under green flag conditions, or at least not under safety car conditions. There may have been a VSC, you know. I'm wondering if that's what's happened, if we've actually had a VSC to cause all these other stops to happen, because that would explain sort of why the field apparently has been jumbled up so much. So that could be what's happened there, and that'll be why Corey's now a net race leader, because you can fit under VSC. That's all right, as far as I'm aware. So that might explain the situation, as we see Corey not wanting to risk too much, because I think he knows it himself. He's in this to win it, and he does not want to blow it. As we see Iceman surely getting past Casper now on this lap. And indeed he is past, and he's up into P6, and Corey's actually gone for the move into 5 and 6, and Corey has so far done the last to first. Very exciting.
Could be the 4th driver to join that club. Yuri joined that club recently. We could have the 2nd race in a row to have someone win from the back of the grid. That'll be good, won't it? So yeah, he will join Khalifa, who was the first one in that club. Arnoud twice last season, one in Belgium, and I can't remember the other one. And obviously Yuri on Tuesday in the Kia Series. So yeah, he'll become the 4th driver to do so, as long as he keeps it on the road. And doing so, he will be the next driver to qualify into the playoffs, because don't forget, if you're new to JACKOCAR, if you do win a race in the regular season, you get to the playoffs. Only 2 people have advanced to the playoffs so far, one being Red Matt and one being Kyle, so he will be the 3rd, but he's got to get it to the end, of course, first. To finish first, you first have to finish, so let's see if he can keep it on the road.
So Corey crosses the line to start lap 20 as Jamie is on the back of Yuri, and he's going to be sitting there now really thinking about his 2nd stop, as will Yuri, because they've got to do it at some point. And it's actually really got to be soon, and just in case there is another safety car to go and ruin things. I'm not sure if we've already hit our grand total of safety cars for the night, but still, I don't really want to risk it. As Jamie gets ahead of Yuri. Are they going to fight too hard? No, they aren't. They're just going to be sensible about it, as Red Matt does come into the pits, and in doing so completes his pit stop strategy. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, he was one of the main drivers involved in that most recent restart crash. He had such a bad restart, then had a 3-car incident with him in the middle of it. And so right now, he's gone from a really decent position right up at the front to sitting down in P11 right now. So not the best situation for him, but still, points are on offer for him, and he should be on course to get some.
Well, any extra points, really, I know he's qualified for the playoffs already, but any extra points you get at this point could be huge, because there's still playoff points on offer for the driver that wins the regular season, and that could be massive implications for the playoffs, and that could mean you move on to the next stage quite quickly as well, and that means you have a better chance getting to the Championship 5. So just because you qualified doesn't mean you could put your feet up. You got to push every race, and that's what Redman has been doing. So I'm sure he wouldn't mind not scoring well, but he's lost a bit of playoff points. Fastest lap, I believe, gets playoff point. That belongs to Iceman at the moment. So as it stands, if he finishes the race and starts the fastest lap, you'll get a playoff point at the end of this race. And J-Luke comes in, I believe, for his mandatory stop, same as Yuri as well, which I think leaves only one other driver to yet do a mandatory.
I think Evil's now the only one out there. Casper's just come in to do his next mandatory as well, and this will all be for sauce at this point. They're all going to be on sauce. I don't know what sort of pace. Well, actually, no, Casper isn't on sauce. Maybe he just hasn't got any left, actually. But the rest of them, Jamie and Yuri, they're on the softs. We'll see if they can make any sort of time up. I don't know if how new the rest of their tyres are for the rest of the field, if it's actually going to mean anything. But still, Jamie straight away making the moves on SD Mats, and we'll see how far he can get up. Perhaps he can get by Quinn and maybe even Kieran as well, and that might be about as high as he gets.
Yes.
Also,
Jordan's in again. It is for another mandatory, but I think he must have got damaged somewhere. I think in the castle section again, so that is another stop. But he's on soft to the end. Can he catch up to the guys in front of him? It's going to be tough. But Iceman has got the first penalty of the day, 3 seconds.
Yeah, that will help Jamie's race as well, perhaps in getting a podium if he can get up the field quick enough. You know, in 5 laps, or 6 laps, sorry, there's a lot that you can do. So we'll see what progress is made. But Corey, he's got an 8.4 second lead right now. This is looking very good indeed. And I'm pretty sure he had lost his front wing earlier. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure he has been through it today. And he pitted on sort of end of lap 5 with no front wing. Hoping that wasn't a safety car. Would need to check it. But it was certainly green flag lap after that. So it was a green flag one. And he's had many long laps. But it appears that, yeah, all is good with his pit stops. And he has just sort of kept it clean, actually. And he's done a very good job to be in the lead. But he did indeed, on lap 5, lose his front wing. And yet here he is, in the lead, as Jamie has made 2.5 seconds in 1 lap to get in front of Quinn. So that's encouraging. If he doesn't get a sort of podium or anything like that, he'll certainly be on for fastest lap, you'd imagine. So good stuff for him, unless of course Yuri can take it off him, but I don't imagine he would be able to. I think Jamie is a quicker driver, and with these tyres it should be no problem at least picking up that point.
Yeah, that could mean everything as well. Just look at the gap between Corey and Carl, though. That is, I have to say, quite amazing. He must have been practicing quite a lot, and he has missed a few races this season as well. So don't forget, I think was it either last season or the season before. It was season 2 actually, or season 3. He was last in the championship standings, and he had to basically pretty much win to get into the playoffs, and he did so in Austria. He's pretty much doing something similar here because he was near the back before tonight as well. So we will see, of course. Other battles going on. We got SD Mats versus Quinn versus Yuri as well. Yuri, I think, could catch up very closely as well. Still doing a decent job in 8. SD Mats in the speed sandwich, but there's no teams involved this season due to what happened last season. Apart from that, nothing else much is happening apart if you're Iceman. They want to probably try and get past Kyle to get rid of that deficit because he's not going to get P2 anyway. But you never know. If he gets past him, maybe he can clear the gap that he needs to.
Here we go, three-way fight for 6th. Who's going to come out on top here? SD Mats goes through, Yuri goes through as well, so Quinn just has to sit back. And now, can Yuri attack SD Mats with the fresher tyres? Down the inside into turn 1. And it is 2 places in 1 go. Iceman, on those fresher tyres, has also got himself past Kyle. Kyle knows about the penalty though, so I imagine he probably isn't fighting as hard as he could. And so Kyle will sit in 3rd and hopefully stay within the 3 seconds he needs to. As Yuri now defends from SD Mats, he's looking on the outside. Is there a way of even cutting back on the exit? No. Yuri on the better tyres, he's in P6.
Yeah, Yuri doing a better job so far. No penalties as well. And like we said, he should be a full-time driver, but the way this is going, he'll probably be in the playoffs anyway if he ever becomes a full-time driver. He missed out a few occasions in Cup, so he could get it now. Red Matt in then. I think he wants to go for a splash and dash at this point, so he can get the fastest lap playoff point. As we have had our last driver complete their mandatories. Every single driver has done their mandatory stops, so we can get rid of our notes for our stops, luckily, because everyone has done the required stops.
Tell you what, it's a shame about Iceman's penalty, you know, because he's got some terrific pace out there. He's made, a second on Corey on this lap. You know, he wouldn't really be catching Corey, but could have pulled away from Kyle. He might still do it, because Kyle's got no ERS left. Mind you, nor is Iceman, or Corey for that matter, but still, Iceman's going around here about a second at least a lot quicker than Corey, so you know, he's doing well still. 2nd place would be a decent result. You know, he's the highest rated driver. He hasn't qualified for the playoffs so far, and we know that Corey will qualify with this win tonight as long as he can get it. And you know, I mean, he would still be the highest of the non-qualified, so it wouldn't be that bad of a result if he can get 2nd place here, Iceman.
No, because he has been robbed a few times getting close to the playoffs before, but he did win the chase though, so... But I think he wants to get higher than the chase this season because he does have the pace for it. I think, to be honest, he didn't have the best of restarts earlier, as we got a yellow flag set to 2. It's a purple car. A KK again has lost his front wing after the castle section. But keep it on the road, a KK. If you finish, you get points for 40, but Eagle Dragon now passes him.
He's being lapped by the leader now.
Yeah, he's been lapped now. So, but yeah, KK, just keep it on the road, pit for soft, and he should be fine. And he's been the wall again. Not good.
Yeah, he can maybe go for the fastest lap, have a little bit of fun with that, but he's letting everyone through. He's been very, very careful. There was a driver here a couple of seasons ago who did something really bad to a car that was trying to lap her. I don't remember who it was, but I got quite passionate in the commentary box about it. You wouldn't know anything about that one, would you?
When was that? What race?
Yeah, it was you.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll clock eventually.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't mention it on Twitter until like the afternoon. Because I thought they were going to mention it beforehand. Yeah, Risky actually pointed it out, and I was like, oh god.
I'll never live it down, you know, because
yeah, you won't.
actually, I will never live down that moment of I swear to God, what am I watching? But well.
I just don't like Baku. That's why I'm in the commentary box rather than racing it, to be honest.
Red Matt's picked up a penalty. Is he being creative with track limits while going for a fastest lap, I wonder? But Iceman's gap to Kyle is 2.5 seconds now. He's still got a lap and a half to make it 3. It's looking pretty good. As Corey laps Liam as well, just putting more cards between himself and him. And we do have now Jamie fighting with Kieran. Nearly making contact, but on the fresher tyres, surely it'll be Jamie ahead. Resumption of the fight these two had earlier on in the race, which Kieran came out on top of. But this time, it is Jamie who is ahead and into 4th position. And that is probably as high as Jamie's going to get now, unless something happens at the end. And Red Matt has set a fastest lap, just with that little excursion off the track. I reckon he'll probably be let away with that one though, because the game still counts it. And I think Jacko's going for one last roll of the dice, pitting for some new softs. And so are we going to see the best fastest lap you've ever seen? He won't get lapped, I don't think, so he will just about get away with this, as Iceman has now made the 3-second gap he needed over Kyle. So second place does look like it's coming his way as Corey comes through to start the final lap. And he did start on the grid P20. And he's lost his front wing earlier in the race on lap 5. He had to pit for repairs. It was one of his mandatory stops. And with all the safety car stuff, it's put him back in a position where he can make a green flag stop later in the race and put himself in this position where he leads the race on the final lap. We have got the fight continuing with Kieran and Jamie. Although it does feel a bit like a last gasp attempt, this one for Kieran. So we'll see how this one goes on the back straight. Very understeery, and you can see the extra grip that Jamie has on the tyres. And so I don't think Kieran is going to be finishing any higher than P5 tonight. Still a decent result for him. He should be happy enough with that one. As, well, we keep our eye on Corey. And it's something that happens a lot more often than you'd imagine round on this league. But we're seeing a driver who wasn't only last on the grid, but last in the championship, coming through to go straight to the playoffs. It has obviously happened before. We mentioned it earlier with Risky in Austria, as Corey nearly puts it in the wall.
Please don't.
Let's not do that now, man. Just get yourself through. Make a little bit of history while you're at it. I mean, we'll
another
see.
stat for Jacko to add to his stats, because he likes his stats. So this will be good for Jacko more than anything. He's
about to give us a reason for him to never shut up about this achievement in the JACKOCAR chat. And you know what? It'll be a well-deserved piece of gloating as he comes through onto the main straight, and his job is done now. The checkered flag will fly, and Corey weaves his way through to celebrate a last to first here in Azerbaijan. Corey is through into the playoffs with a commanding drive. Iceman finishes in P2. Decent stuff from him. Good recovery after the penalty. Kyle comes home in P3. And then we will see last season's winner here, Jamie, finishing in 4th position, with Kieran completing the top 5 with a lovely accident to boot.
Well, I think we're starting to see the likes of Casper, Quinn and Corey. They've got their first points of the season now, so it just makes one of the full-time drivers not to score a point, just Jake.
Yep, the
Everyone
first
else
man
has
out.
scored at least 1 point.
He was the first man out of this race as well.
Yes.
So he's had a pretty miserable day. But
he didn't even make the first lap.
No, crashed right here where Jacko is, and I'm watching him just in case he sticks in the best, fastest lap you've ever seen, because he is on the fresh, soft tyres. You know, he has put these on for this purpose. You can see him draining the hell out of his ERS. And he likes a good stat, as you say. He'd love to put himself on the Cup Series stats too. He's 1.6 seconds up on his best lap. Let's see if that's going to get him anywhere near the fastest lap. I don't think it will, actually, as SD Mats ignores yellow flag, gets 20-second penalty for it. That might drop him down a little bit. But here comes Jacko. Is he going to set the world alight? Is this going to be a fastest lap? He might have used enough power anyway. Let's see it. As he gets to the line, no.
No.
So that'll be a red map then, he gets the fastest lap. He tried, Jacko, he tried, but in the end he was nearly a second off.
Yeah, 1:41.034 was his fastest lap, which is, I can't remember if it was a second or third fastest, but we'll double check. But Corey gets drive of the day, and if the JACKOCAR Twitter poll doesn't put Corey as one of the contenders, then I would cry. But yeah, well deserved from him as well. Even though he binned it early on in the race, it showed that you can carry on. I think since that moment, he never put a foot wrong. He only made one mistake, and he deserved that victory tonight. He was probably sick with the safety cars, but that kind of helped him, to be fair. And yeah, I think he's one of the few drivers to make 2 stops on the game, and all to be mandatory. Same with Kyle, J-Lu, and Kieran. So most of them, or pretty much all of them, are in the top 5. So I think I would say decent races for those lot, because they haven't been able to make safety car stops, but they were still able to gain a decent result out of it. We thought their races were over, to be fair, for some of them, like J-Lick, for example, but at least he was able to get a top 4 position. So that's all good. I'll let you go on through the results, Owen.
So Corey wins from last on the grid. Like I said, we've seen that multiple times in the league, and Corey is just added to the list of drivers who have achieved it. Iceman 2nd, Kyle 3rd, Jamie 4th, Kieran 5th, Casper 6th, Yuri 7th, Quinn 8th, SD Mats 9th, and Jordan 10th. Red Matt, Jacko, Evil, and OKK were the last finishers. And then we have Gareth, Risky, Connor, Jamie, MK Bourne, and Jake, all not finishing. But Corey, he's into the playoffs. He's the 3rd man to do so this season. He's also the 3rd driver to win from last on the grid. And I think he'd be very happy with that one. From last on the championship as well. Really, could it be a much better day for him?
Yeah, and still a chance for him to be regular season champion if he keeps it up as well. It only takes him a few decent races to do so as well, so which will give him 20 points plus the 5 playoff points. But playoff points don't count in the regular season. They do count in the playoffs stages as well, coming up soon. So you'll have to wait and see for that. But he will jump probably definitely into the top 10 and probably jump quite a few people in the championship as well who had horrible races. But I'm quite surprised, actually. We still had more finishes than last season's Baku race, I have to say. So at least people persevered compared to last season.
Yeah, I'm surprised that many got to the line with the amount of chaos, but I suppose the safety cars coming out so quickly would probably help with that a little bit. But I think the drivers are probably going to be quite happy to get away from Azerbaijan this season, because I did see a bit of a mess. Mind you, next week may not go much better for them, because we are doing our double race week. We always do this at Silverstone, but we're also adding Monaco to the mix. So there'll be a Silverstone race and a Monaco race next week, and so that'll be very entertaining indeed, because Monaco, we saw one of the most dramatic races last season, and of a track the drivers frankly hate. So looking forward to seeing how they handle that one. But for this week, that is us. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jess, for subbing for Jacko, who might end up back here next week. We'll see. He always does this at some point. But I will certainly be here to bring you the Silverstone and Monaco double. So thank you all for watching, and have a good night. Safe travels, everyone, and sorry for the extreme crashing earlier, but nothing I can really do about it. See you.